Steve, my good man, how the devil are you?
I'm good, buddy. How are you?
I'm very good, my friend, very good indeed. How has your weekend been?
Not bad. Not bad. It's very chilled.
Okay, that's good. I feel like that's what you need at the moment, Steve.
Yes. Definitely done me some good. Feel a lot better
Good.
compared to last week. We're still a little bit under the weather, but
Yeah,
better.
good. That's what we like.
I-
And your positive lifestyle changes are going well, are they? Less meat, more exercise.
More exercise, more chili powder. Let's put it that way. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it was quite the sight when I came in today, Steve, to see just plates of spaghetti bolognese and a lot of red faces as I walked in earlier.
Yeah, that was a mistake. That was look at what you pick up when you're cooking. So Sarah and I were just chatting, and I've just delved in the cupboard, went to get the tomato puree paste, just to, thicken up the sauce, and I picked up the chili sauce, and I gave it a healthy, a man-sized squeeze.
That's what you do, mate. You never need just 2 tablespoons of whatever tomato
No.
paste it is. You just give it a squeeze. You can probably guess it about right.
Yeah. So this had some fire to it, and I do mean fire to the point where Sarah didn't even bother. We put the boys down and let the food cool down.
So were the boys supposed to be eating this as well?
Oh God, yeah.
Oh no.
So they eat the same as us because we want to encourage them to eat veg, eat healthy.
Yeah.
So they eat exactly the same as us. So the rule of the house is we cook, we cool the boys' food down so the temperature they can eat it, pick it up. Brody, we just got him on baby-led weaning. So we put the food in front of him and he helps himself till he's full.
Okay.
So I cooled it down. I put it on the plates, chucked it on Enzo's table, Brody's high chair, stuck them in there. We disappear into the kitchen because we know they're safe, just to plate ours up. And it was just instant screaming.
Oh my god, that's so
And
good.
we walked into 2 kids that looked like they've just swallowed a grenade. So it was like 40 gallons of milk later.
Oh no, you've put your kids off spicy food for life.
Literally, mate, they're traumatised.
Oh my, will they eat spaghetti bolognese again though, or
I
have you
don't
traumatised them for
know.
that?
I think I'm going to have to do spag bowl like again tomorrow night, but the cool version.
Yeah. Or
that-
just mix in lots of mayo.
Yeah. In my defence, it smelled fucking amazing.
I mean, it smelled nice when I came in, to be
Yeah,
fair.
it really did. So it didn't smell any different. That was like part of it. And then, I persevered for like half a plate till I felt like my tongue was melted and I might have another stroke. And then, we're just like, let's give this shit up.
Yep, fair enough. So did you all have another meal, or was that it? You've just not eaten since?
No, just not eating since.
Oh, okay. I'd have been like, fuck this, I'm just having a block of cheese.
Well, Sarah did because she didn't touch it. She had scrambled eggs on toast. The boys had fruit. What else did we make them?
Just fruit?
No,
Yeah, I have an apple
they
if
had
you're not
wraps.
going to eat your dinner. Oh, okay.
They had wraps. I persevered to the best of my abilities, but now I'm numb. So,
Fair enough. Well, there we go, eh?
life tip: look at what you are cooking with.
Oh, that's gold, mate. I enjoyed that a lot. I
Alright.
enjoyed just walking into all of the red faces is what really did it for me.
Yeah, I'm sure we look like pictures, mate. All right, how was your week?
It's good, mate. What have I been up to? I went camping for the week,
You
as you
did?
know. Sleeping outside in October, that was fun.
In England?
Yeah,
Risky.
exactly. But it didn't rain. Only rained on packing up day, which was annoying
that's
because then
typical.
everything soaked. But at least it was dry for the rest of the week. And then I went up to Nottingham to surprise my mum for her birthday.
Nice.
So we had a family gathering up there. It was quite nice. Almost all of my siblings were in the same place at the same time, which is quite a rare treat.
There's a lot of you.
Yeah, exactly. One of them, who actually lives up with my mum still at the moment, had decided to go and see his girlfriend and not to partake in the surprising mum for her birthday, but that's fine, leave him to it. But it was quite nice to have at least 7 of us all in the same place at the same time. So it was hectic, and a lot of real beer was drunk in the pub, and I don't really remember much after that, but we left the pub about 6:30, and I know I was up to about 2, but it's all kind of a bit of a blur, so... Yeah, but it was fun. I enjoyed it a lot. It was really good. And then what did I get up to? Oh, Halloween. I dressed up for Halloween, had another heavy night on the cheese and wine, and just entertained the scores of trick-or-treaters that we had. So I kept going to the door, dressed up, having a bit of a laugh with everyone. Everyone's parents seemed to enjoy the fact I was dressed up, so it was good. The only problem with it is we were trying to watch horror films at the same time, so every time the door knocked, I had to pause the film, because it would be absolutely typical for me to open the door and then just a blood-curdling scream come out of the TV. I was like, yeah, that's probably not okay. But it meant it took us 3 hours to watch an hour and a half film. So, when we actually ran out of sweets, I was quite relieved.
Did you hide some down the side of the sofa?
No, Cherie took the ones she wanted out of the box.
Damn
but,
right.
Don't tell her sister that because she will be raging.
Right.
But other than that, no, I gave all of the sweets away, and then we had a small child come to the door just after we'd given out the last of the sweets, and they were like, trick or treat, and I was like, I'm really sorry, pal. I've just given away the last sweets to them. I pointed down the road. He looked very disappointed, and his mum was like, oh, it's okay, don't worry. I was like, I'm really sorry.
I bet inside she was like, you.
Yeah, so I quickly cleared up the pumpkins from the front garden.
I was going to say, you've got to blow them out. That's like the universal sign now, isn't it? The pumpkin outside.
Well, I didn't know this, man. I never went trick-or-treating as a child, so I didn't know any of this was a thing. But then, yes, that does turn out to be the case. It's the pumpkin.
Which is quite nice now, because if you've got people who don't want to partake, like elderly or something.
Yeah, just don't put a pumpkin out. Happy days.
Yeah, universal sign of Halloween participation.
Yeah, exactly. I like it. I think it's nice. It's nice to just have a sign that is, you can knock on this house and no one's going to be raging with you.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to next year, because Enzo started to show a bit of interest this year.
Okay.
So next year, we're going full hog.
Nice.
I am going to rig up some balloon on a piece of invisible string.
Oh, classy.
Bit of Pennywise is going to come
That's
out.
good. I like that.
Yeah, there's going to be carnage.
Give him a little paper boat.
Yeah, I think, there's going to have to be some serious carnage in the cul-de-sac.
Yeah, that's fun, mate. I like that.
Might have to get a few neighbours involved.
I turn it into a spooky cul-de-sac. That would be great.
Yeah, liven this boring fart place because they are boring. Let's not go into that.
Let's not dive into that, mate. Let's then dive into the show, because what's not boring, Steve, is MotoGP.
It's not.
So, I'm Tim, he's Steve, and this is for the love of MotoGP. Now, if you're new to MotoGP, guys, don't forget to check out our Introduction to MotoGP show. It tells you everything you need to know to start enjoying the sport that we all love. We cover the teams, the riders, the storylines, the protagonists. We cover, the technical rules to the best of our knowledge, really. But we take a deep dive into how the workings of MotoGP. It's getting pretty close to the end of the season, so if you've only just joined us, then that's the show to scroll back to. Just go back through the podcast feed and look for the introduction to MotoGP.
It's a good show.
It was a fun show. It's a long show.
It is a long show, but yeah, you'll definitely need a few drinks. Tim had a few drinks.
I had a few drinks, yeah.
Yeah. It will tell you what you need to know. It will get you by.
Exactly, and that's the important thing there. And then, Steve, before we really dive into the show properly, it's time for something just a little bit different to usual.
Yeah, we're going to go off on a wee journey.
A wee journey. It will be a journey. For the next few weeks, we'll be going off on this journey, so let's just dive in.
Let's go for it.
Steve, my good man, how the devil are your balls?
Trim.
That's what we like to hear, and that is because support for the love of MotoGP is brought to you by Manscaped, who are the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offer... I can't even read the script out here, Steve. Manscaped offer precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped just launched their 4th-generation trimmer, the Lawnmower 4.0, all across Europe. The 4.0. So join over 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with our exclusive offer, 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code MotoGP at Manscaped.
There it is.
So for full disclosure, Manscaped did send Steve and I their performance package. We sent one of those each. We're not having to share ball trimmers here.
That would be strange.
And they asked us to talk about our favourite time in the bathroom. But you know what? I don't think you guys want to hear about my strange masturbation habits. So instead, we're going to talk about my second favourite time in the bathroom, and that is using the Manscaped shaver going on here. We are lucky enough to be some of the first people to try the Lawnmower 4.0 and can confirm, Steve, it's a cracking little razor.
It is. I must admit, I've never in the past really thought about giving the old boy a trim.
You're not a manscaping...
I never was.
Fellow here.
I never was. I was quite old-fashioned.
Au natural.
Yeah. Au natural. That's the best way of putting it. Very 70s.
Nice.
Very 70s.
That's
I
what
would have
like.
fitted in nicely. But
Steve,
now,
a.k.a. Ron Jeremy.
Little bit. But yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. I picked this little thing up. It's not very big, this little trimmer.
No, it's nice. It does the job.
Yeah.
It fits in your hand comfortably.
It does. Waterproof. Use it in the shower.
That's what we like.
I did try it out of the shower. I thought I'm going to have to try this.
I could the complete opposite to you. I consider myself quite a well-groomed man most of the time anyway.
You have got the hair. You have got the hair.
Thank you. And generally, I'm just a very hairy man, Steve. From head to toe, I've got these hairy hobbit toes going on.
Hairy hobbit toes.
Which you probably could shave with this, but I've not tried yet.
I think you could trim more than just your bits.
Certainly, I would be comfortable trimming my face with it, but I also don't mind the risk of getting pubes on my face.
No, I would be open. It is a good little thing.
You're turning it on. There we go.
By accident. I was then looking at the lights.
Yes, and little lights there on the end. So once you've turned it on, there's a little light so you can see everything that's going on down there. You get to all the nooks and crannies, as you say. But like you, Steve, I always shave in the shower. So yes, also can confirm waterproof, works wonderfully.
It is. Yeah, it's a good little bit of kit. It's not too big, not heavy. It's just right, really.
Yeah, exactly. So, guys, if you...
Off again.
You're having issues there. Give it the triple lock, Steve, or the triple press on the button, put the travel lock on. Happy days. That'll go away.
Oh.
If you can work it out eventually. There you go.
There we go. It's just my fat fingers. That's all. But yeah, it has got this handy little fit. It took me a while to work it out. So if you press the button 3 times, it travel locks it. So if you buy the travel bags come with it, you can put it in there. It won't go off. But mine was already on. And I was convinced it just needed charging.
Oh, yes. So you had some moments like, this fucking thing's broken. But no, it wasn't broken. No. We just didn't read the instructions.
No. Typical men.
Yeah, I did the complete opposite to you, Steve. I actually didn't read the instructions, didn't realise there was a travel lock on it. Chucked it in my bag to bring here for the recording because Steve and I wanted to compare our ball trimmers. So I brought it here, and while I was sitting there on the train, I leant on my bag, and it just started going off. I was like, oh, fuck, my bag's just started vibrating. What is happening? Oh, this train, packed train as well. I've never seen a train so busy. So then just all of these heads turned around and looked at me. I was like, well, shit, I'm going to have to find out what this is. So I'm digging through my bag, and I'm like, oh, no, it's my ball trimmer. I'm like, that's a bit embarrassing, isn't it? So I had to reach into my bag and turn it off, and that's when I was like, there must be a travel lock on it, and I just pressed the button until it came on. So it's I didn't read the instructions, and I still managed to work out there should be a travel lock, and it does work.
It is good. I enjoyed it. I tried out all the other products as well that come in the kit.
Yeah, so in that same kit, Steve, we got the Crop Preserver Anti-Chafing Ball Deodorant. We got the Crop Reviver Refreshing Ball Toner. Now, I used the deodorant, but not the toner yet, Steve. So I can't say what the toner does, but the deodorant smells wonderful.
It does. Yeah, it's nice, actually. They both smell the same, or roughly the same.
Okay.
I tried the deodorant first. Very nice. Very refreshing. Then I thought I'd try this Reviver. I thought I'm going to have a little spray with this, check it out, see what it's all about. And it does work. It just sort of a little pick me up.
That's what we all need in our lives, Steve. A little pick me up for the genitals going on there.
Yeah, the curious cat in me was like, I've got to try this stuff out. So a little squirt later. Luckily, there was no one in the house because I realised earlier I spent a long time in the bathroom.
Oh, no. I told everyone what I was doing. I was like, guys, I'm going to go for a trim.
I love the fact you told literally the entire house you were off to give it the full war trim.
Yes, mate. I'm all about it. There's no shame for me. I'm happy to talk about my gentle grooming habits with anyone at any time.
I've literally told everyone today. And people have been asking as well. I told them, I said to someone the other day about it. And they come to me today, like, have you done it yet? Have you done it? I was like, no, we're doing it tonight. We're recording the ad tonight. We're going to talk about it tonight. You'll hear it this week. They're like, give me a preview. I was like, what, you want to see?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like, you haven't done it yet. I haven't done it yet. I'm doing it tonight. Just relax. You'll see tomorrow.
Happy day. So you're going to show everyone tomorrow?
I might do.
That's going to be a treat for all involved.
That will be a treat at work. Everyone at work, I'll probably end up arrested.
Can you imagine? 2 days back at work and you're already being carted out.
What happened? He got his dick out. It's a good little kit. It's a good little product, and I'm all for a bit of male grooming now.
Yeah, it's nice, mate. I'm a big fan. The ceramic cutting blade in there makes quick work of all that thick body hair, and it really reduces the risk of grooming accidents as well. I have certainly in the past, like I say, I have been grooming for many years, and I have certainly nicked the skin and cut things in the past, but this felt very, very safe, so I was very happy with that.
Yeah, I can confirm. Actually, it was a little tentative.
Yeah,
I was in there. I was like, "Ooh!" But yeah, I read the full description. I was like, "All right, let's go for it." And yeah, you really can't nick yourself. So don't be afraid of that. If you do buy one,
well, it certainly reduces the risk. I mean, you still could if you used it wrong, but it reduces the risks heavily.
Full bore.
Yeah.
You would, if you use it wrong,
Yeah.
you would nick yourself, but I didn't.
So, guys, if you want to get 20% off plus free shipping of your own Manscaped product, and that could be any product on the website, guys, the full package, there's t-shirts, there's pants. The pants are comfy.
They are comfy. I will endorse that. Jesus.
Yeah, the pants are good, man. They're a little tight. I got a medium, which is my normal size. Maybe I should go up to a large. So I would say they're on the snug side, but they are super comfy.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I'm a size 34 waist UK, and they were snug. So,
Yeah.
but I wore them all day. I thought I was going to try these out. So I wore them all day at work. Comfy as hell.
Yeah, I'm wearing mine now, mate, and they're nice. They're nice because your house is so hot as well. They feel quite cooling, which is
They're
quite
very, I want to say thin, but it's just the material they're made out of. They feel very much like Lycra.
Yeah, it feels like quite a technical material, but it's quite nice.
Yeah.
Does the job, anti-chafing, so it's very good, and the whole setup's wonderful. But there's other things on the website. There's the deodorants, the toners. There's a full-on face razor if that's what you want. There's the nose trimmer. So like we say, 20% off plus free shipping with the code MotoGP at manscaped.com. 20% off, free shipping at manscaped.com with the code MotoGP. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. Now, Steve, into the show proper. MotoGP. We have some corrections to get to, Steve, from last week.
What a change.
So last week, Steve and I got stuck discussing for a while whether it was Johan Stigefelt or Wilco Zeelenberg that was going to be leaving Petronas/RNF Racing at the end of the year. When I say that's what we said, I think I got confused and Steve actually knew what was going on the whole time.
I can't remember. Last week's show was a bit of a blur.
Okay, so it turns out it is Stigefelt that is leaving at the end of the year. According to Razlan Razali, the team boss of RNF Racing, Stigefelt's leaving is a mutual decision due to the restructuring of the team. Stiggy mainly ran the Moto2 and Moto3 operations, and as we know, those teams are folding now and closing down. So he didn't really have a job left anyway. So it seems that he's kind of stepped aside to do something else, and the team will be run by Razlan and Wilco Zeelenberg.
Yeah, that does make sense. Can you imagine the amount of people in the MotoGP team if they all just like jumped in there?
Well, it would be amazing. Well, apparently, the statements I was reading, he was saying they've got about 60 members of staff, full-time staff at the minute, and with the folding of the Moto2 and Moto3 teams, they've got to lose 30 of them.
Christ.
So it's going to be the 30 members of staff working for the team. So, a lot of people are being laid off across the board. I imagine they're going to be picked up by the other operations, by the other Moto2 and Moto3 teams.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll be on the paddock somewhere in the grid.
Yeah.
In other teams, just in whatever role.
Yes.
Their knowledge is... people aren't going to lose that.
No, exactly. And we know there's other teams coming in. We obviously know the Michael Laverty's British Talent Moto3 team. I can't remember what it's actually. Vision Racing, is it?
Vision Motorsport Racing, something like that.
Yeah.
Along that line, should remember. It's quite a long name, but yeah, they'll no doubt snap up someone.
I'm sure they will.
Yeah, there'll be jobs for them.
Certainly.
And even if they leave the grid, wish them all well.
Certainly.
Yeah.
And I'm sure all of the guys and girls will be able to find other jobs elsewhere.
Of course, yeah.
It's just maybe, it's a bit of an upheaval in it. And just the uncertainty of just not knowing what's going on, isn't?
Yeah, it's that. You want something in place. Normally, if it's like you or me changing jobs, we'll have a job in place before we...
Yeah, exactly.
Where we jump ship, but then, it's a little bit different when you know your job's in jeopardy or gone.
Yeah.
But yeah, just... They'll get snapped up. Someone will have them.
Yes, exactly. So then, away from corrections and on to the actual news, Steve. Not a huge amount of news. Not a ton of stuff going on, but enough for a show, easily, I think. And let's start with the big news that came out today, shall we?
Let's dive into this little talking point.
So Marc Marquez, it has been announced, will be missing Portimao.
You shall.
Marquez received a concussion after a training accident. It's understood he was training on, and according to the statement released from the team, quote, one of his standard off-road training sessions, unquote.
Yeah, not a lot to go on.
No, I assume he was doing something silly on a dirt bike.
Sounds like it. That's pretty much what it sounds like. If it was just a bog standard training day, they would have come out and said, or there'd be some kind of, not footage, but normally him and Alex do post bits if they're training on Instagram.
I assume they normally film those and then post them the following day or later on that day.
Probably. It's probably a little bit of edit going on. But yeah, by the sounds of it, that was too political.
It was just a very Honda statement, wasn't it?
It was too corporate to...
It feels very much the same as he broke his arm opening a window.
Yeah.
It's just one of those very much that you're like, right, okay, this ain't really the whole story, is it here? But okay, fair enough. But at least he didn't get concussion opening a window this time, Steve. So,
oh God, Jesus, broken arm and a concussion. I'll be taking that window out. I'll be having a word. I'll be like, right, get the builders in.
Yeah, we're remodeling.
Yeah, brick that window up. Jesus.
Or just maybe put it on a clicker so you can just press a button and it opens.
Have a clapper.
Yeah. Or maybe the problem is that maybe this is it, Steve. The window was so clean, he didn't realise it was there. He's rushing outside for a barbecue.
Whack straight into the window. That's it. Sorted it.
Concussion. He's out for Portimao.
That's it. That's got to be it.
That's the story, and we're sticking with it, mate.
Yeah, we'll go with that one. That window was way too clean.
Yeah. You next time, mate, he'll have stickers on the window. This is what my mum used to do when I was a kid. Not just me, but with my millions of siblings running around. Mum kept a very, very clean house. Always very, very clean. And we would often run into the big French windows. So she just used to put stickers on them so we could see if they were open or closed.
I have this picture in my head. This is going to sound absolutely terrible. It's going to sound really disrespectful, but I just have the picture of your mum just surrounded by minions.
Just all the time, just crashing into
just
things.
Like mental minions and the odd purple one stuff in there.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, just like madness.
Yeah,
and the dog.
It's chaos, mate. It was chaos. It was always chaos. But that's part of the fun, isn't it? That's why I quite enjoy chaos now, because it's just fun.
Yeah, see, I was brought up in a small household, so now I've got 2 kids to be home. It's like, fuck, what's going on?
Yeah, I'm not used to this. This is weird.
No, you've encountered my kids, and they're a bit mental.
Sometimes they're mental, sometimes they're lovely, but that's just a kid thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I felt like last night they're really docile because they're both asleep. Well, Brody weren't. He was just patting you on the back.
Yeah, exactly. I popped round briefly last night, and one of them was just soundo, and the younger one was there just very happy. And I feel like he, for a long time, was quite a miserable child and just a bit scared of me.
Which one?
Brody,
yeah.
But now he's kind of really just got a very happy, smiley child and just very brave all the time.
Yeah, he's definitely come out of his shell.
Yeah.
I realised last night as well, he nicked your chocolate bar.
He did nick my Milky
and you
Way.
never got another one.
No, I'm raging about that, actually, Steve.
Yeah. We found it this morning. There's like, Tim came round last night to pick up the Manscaped stuff. And because it was post-Halloween, we had some chocolates left over. And he... Here you go. You know, we're sharing people. Tim, have a chocolate bar.
Yeah, exactly. You get a fun-sized Milky Way for everyone that comes in.
Yeah, basically. If you come to my house, you get chocolate.
Yeah.
But Brody spotted this chocolate next to Tim and just instantly made a beeline for it and just squished it. Didn't take out the wrapper.
No, but the wrapper was in the mouth and everything. He properly committed.
He was having
to
go for it.
Yeah,
he was properly going for it. He was eating it. No matter what. Yeah, we found it this morning. Tim didn't get one. But there is another Milky Way, I believe.
Okay, I'll take one with me home tonight, mate.
Yeah, make sure you get one.
Back to Marquez and away from people walking into windows and stealing chocolates and all whatever tangents we got off on there.
Huge tangents.
It's probably fair to say he wasn't going to win this race at Portimao.
No, I wouldn't say he would.
But it would have been really interesting to see how far he's come on since the first race back at the start of the season. Obviously, his first race back was Portimao, so it was the third race of the season.
Yes. That's actually, I hadn't looked at that train of thought.
So it would have been really good to see how much he'd improved.
That's quite annoying.
It's also quite funny how well he finished in that race. I didn't really realise. He finished 7th in that race and was only 13 seconds off the win. So you think, I reckon he's gained 10 seconds a race easy since he's been back. He could have been fighting for the podium, but it's also a very physical track, maybe.
Yeah, that's it. It's, is it counterclockwise?
Nah, it's
a clockwise track. Yeah. So, you think he'd be pushing for a podium?
It's sort of getting to the point again with Marquez, though, isn't it? Where I'm like, if he stays on the bike, he's just pushing for a podium at least.
Yeah, it's testament to his skill and his physical ability that what he's done just coming back.
And it just shows how bad it was, doesn't it? How bad that injury was to wipe him out for an entire season and then wipe him out for a half season on his return as well.
It is nuts. I don't think anyone really appreciated the scale of this injury. You know, I think we just assumed that he'd be back. You know, we got used to seeing him sort of limp off the track with his shoulder dislocated.
Yeah, and then come back for it. And I actually said a lot, didn't I? I didn't think he was ever going to come back. But then when we all knew he was coming back, I was like, well, he's just been back up to full speed straight away. But it's been a long time, man.
It has. I think it surprised a lot of people.
Yeah.
Just how serious that injury was. I mean, we see guys break their arms. Not very often, but sometimes. And when they do, they normally have it plated and they have a couple of months out and they're back. This is just ongoing. He's had, what, a whole year?
Pretty much a whole season off, yeah.
And then X amount of time since the start of this season, still recovering, training, using the bike really as a training tool. That's a massive, massive injury that he sustained, far more than I ever gave it credit.
Yeah, and a lot of it was impact, wasn't it, because of his shoulder as well. So he couldn't then exercise the shoulder that he just had operated on because he just smashed his arm to bits. So then he had to rest it, and I think that started to atrophy over time, and then that became like a lot of muscle wastage and a lot of problems there. But he's clearly coming back, and he will be a title threat again. It is a shame that we're just not going to see the improvement.
Yeah. I didn't think of that at all. I never gave it consideration that Portimao was his first race back. I completely overlooked that point. You're right. That would have been really, really interesting to see just like the comparison start of the season to now.
Yeah.
We know we're going back to Portimao next year. So I guess,
and early on in the season, I suppose, aren't we?
It's quite early. So
I can't remember exactly how early, but I think it's in the first handful of rounds.
Fifth?
Is it the fifth round? I don't know. Let me get the calendar up here, Steve.
I believe it's fourth or fifth. It's very early in the season, but just to have that comparison would be nice. Yeah, because a lot of people, I'm sure, will start talking about this speculation as we get closer to next season about what he will do.
Yes, definitely.
Will he be next year's title contender? Because we've both agreed.
I think it's looking like a three-way battle for the title next year. It'll be a Quartararo, Bagnaia, Marquez battle for the title.
That's exactly where I was going. The winners of what race was it? Not the last race out, the one before.
Misano, pre-Misano was
Cota, that's it. Yeah, we said then. Sorry, my mind went blank. Still getting a few effects. There's one of them.
Yeah.
Or often I can't recall stuff.
That's fine. It's normally the alcohol with me, so at least you've got a legitimate excuse.
Yeah, this is true. Although it's Tuesday night, so it's my beer night.
It's your beer night.
I don't drink otherwise. Really strange. Anyway, we've both agreed. The three podium guys there are next year's title contenders.
Yeah.
But it's just how far and how convincing, I guess, or dominant. Dominant is a far better word. How dominating Marquez could be if he does come out as a massive title contender.
Yes. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. And it won't be the dominance of 2019 again.
Absolutely not.
That's never going to happen again. We've seen that's been and done. You get one of those in a career. Valentino Rossi would have had his in the early 2000s, had a year like that. Marquez had his in 2019. And I'm sure we will see a rider. Casey Stoner had one in 2007.
Yep. Maybe Quattraro will have his one next year.
Yeah, exactly.
Could come out the stocks all guns blazing, and that's it.
Yeah,
no one catches him, and it's just the story of the year is the battle for second.
Yeah, exactly. But it's just one of those, isn't it? It's the once in a lifetime season, or once in a career season, I suppose.
That perfect ride.
Exactly. And can confirm, Steve, you are right. Portugal is the fifth round. It's 2 days before my birthday next year.
Oh, there we are, people. Birthday cards at the ready.
Birthday cards at the ready, if anyone remembers. Anyway, I just need to find my notes again, Steve, because I lost them while I was Googling there.
Too many tabs open on the computer, my man.
That's a constant problem for me. The problem is, Steve, I have so many tabs open for work, and then I never really turn my computer off, so the tabs are just then still open when we come to record, so I have to hide things and minimise things, and it just becomes a bit of a mission, really.
Mine doesn't turn on, because I only use it like twice, 3 times a week.
Yeah, I get quite frustrated if my computer takes as long to turn on.
You've seen it tonight.
What was it, 45 minutes to turn it on and load your emails?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an effort. It is a real effort. I just want to murder it some days.
I don't blame you, mate. I want to throw my computer out the window sometimes, and that's mainly because I've made mistakes and I'm annoyed about them. But if the computer was stressing me out that much, I'd be well pissed.
It's hard. It's very hard not to assassinate it.
Anyway, before we end up throwing your computer out the window, Steve, Moto2 and Moto3 can both be decided this weekend. Match point again for Pedro Acosta in Moto3 and match point for Remy Gardner in Moto2.
I kind of hope they do get wrapped up this weekend.
Do you? I don't know. I just like it all going down to the final round. If only the final round was good.
Exactly. That was my whole point. I used to really enjoy Valencia until I met you.
And I just hate it so much that it's really rubbed off on you. I apologise for stealing the love for Valencia from you, man.
That's all right. That's perfectly fine. So now I'm glad you have. Now we get to Valencia, and I'm like, yeah, Tim's right.
You're like, if only this was Phillip Island.
Yeah, exactly. I'm now of that fold where I'm just like, yeah, he's right. This is crap. It's a good race. It's a MotoGP race.
Exactly. It's better than any other racing, but it's just not an exciting track, is it? It's too tight, too twisty. It's not good overtaking spots. It's just tough. The best race I've ever seen in Valencia was 2015 when we watched Valentino Rossi carve through from the back of the field to finish fourth. Like, that's the best Valencia
Every
race
now and again, Valencia produced... Excuse me. Almost. There's still a few side effects. Every now and again, it produces a cracker.
Yeah.
But you can't predict when it'll be. Whereas, like you say, we know we're going to Phillip Island. Awesome.
Yeah, always in the top 2 races of the year, unless it's been a mental year and some crazy shit has happened.
Yeah, we go to Mugello. We know we're going to have an awesome time.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just, you can't predict it. We could go into, I don't know, let's say we had the next 10 years of Valencia and have 2 awesome races.
Yeah. I can think of very few awesome races. You know, like the 2015 one was one. I guess 2006 would have been good to watch, but maybe not the best racing.
No.
Just quite exciting. There was a very, very good race in, I'm going to guess 2016. Zarco joined MotoGP in 2017.
Yeah.
So his second championship year, he had a great battle with Morbidelli in Moto2, which was really, really good.
Right.
And that's a race that's worth watching. Morbidelli hadn't taken a win until this point, and actually I think Zarco beat him in the race, I think. But it was just a really, really good battle between the two. But there's just not great racing happens there.
No, it's still, we're doing the place an injustice, really. It's still an awesome place to go to.
And it's still MotoGP bikes. It's still the best racers and the best bikes. Like, it's still amazing.
It's just, you compare it to some of the other tracks. And it's just unfortunate that Valencia just doesn't produce that great racing.
Yeah, it's my least favourite track on the calendar.
Yeah, same here, I think.
But in Moto2, Steve, so between Remy Gardner and Raul Fernandez, there is 18 points in the title battle now. And that is thanks to Fernandez's crash and Remy's tough finish in the final race, in the last race in Misano. So if Remy can outscore Raul by 8 points, that will put him 26 points in the lead, and that will guarantee him the title. If he leaves on 25 points here, or if they draw by the end of the season, Raul Fernandez will take the championship on countback because he's just had so many wins this year.
Yes. That'd be, that'd be harsh.
It would be really rough.
That would be very, very harsh. But that's racing.
That's racing, mate. That's how the point scoring works. That's how it happens. Everyone's playing by the same rule book. So.
Exactly. That's just what you got to deal with.
Exactly. It doesn't seem very likely that Remy's going to outscore Raul by 8 points.
I don't think so.
There's not 8 points in first and second, so even if Remy wins, I'm sure Raul will finish second.
I think so.
And Raul has just been on such a tear.
He has.
He's just been, what has he won? 7 races this year now?
7 races, but nearly every race, you can't fault him until it's
until
over.
He crashes. He's had 3 DNFs, pretty much from the lead as well, a lot of them. So you could argue that he should be on 10 wins now.
He should easily be on 10 wins.
And should be an absolute phenom of the class. And I mean, he is the phenom of the class right now.
Yeah, he is. It's just unfortunate that he's had those crashes.
And it's unfortunate for him, at least, that Remy Gardner has been so consistent all year.
That's it. But it just goes to show, we always say consistency is key.
Yeah.
Really is. To win it, you got to first finish the race. So
that's exactly it. And now, if Remy Gardner can continue to be consistent, even if he loses to Raul in the next 2 races, but if he finishes second, he will still win the title.
Exactly. So there's room for error. Just. Not much.
No, not much, but it is there. The really exciting thing that really makes Portimao quite a mouth-watering prospect for these two is that they have both won there in the past.
Yes.
The last 2 visits to Portimao, the first one was won by Remy Gardner, taking his first win in the class. The second one, which was this year's race, the win was taken by Raul Fernandez, taking his first win in the class.
Nice.
Very exciting. Remy came third last time to Raul Fernandez's win, so it's hotting up to be a good place for the leading into the end of the season and for this battle.
It's going to be a nice penultimate round.
Yeah,
with a lot of potential.
Yeah, and I think all the pressure's on Remy though.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's just got to finish first.
Yeah, well, and the thing is, he had his one crash a couple of weeks ago. He had a bad race coming into this one, and he knows Raul Fernandez is on an absolute tear. Raul Fernandez, all he has to go out and do is win the race, and he has to hope for the best. But Remy Gardner has got to be thinking about it a bit more.
Yeah, he's got to be collective.
Yeah.
And, like you say, mindful over what he does.
But 18 points ain't many points to be collective with,
no,
to be, careful with,
is it enough of a buffer to go out and just be like, right, be sensible. Be sensible. If he's sitting in second and can see the guy in first, what do? The racer.
Well, if that guy is Raul Fernandez, you just stay where you are. No, I think you stay where you are. If that guy's Raul Fernandez, you just stay where you are.
I think the racer inside of him would be like, I'm going to have him. But you're right. You're absolutely right. The collective, sensible rider would take the points.
Yeah.
And no, you can still win it next weekend. Or
That's it. I guess either way. I think if he's in second and he can see the win, but it's like, oh, it's a sketchy one. Maybe you're right. Maybe if it's Ralph Fernandez, you go for it. And then if you crash, you both crash. And then happy days, you're looking golden into the next season or into the next race. But if you're in second and Ralph Fernandez is behind you, you just hold station.
You just hold him up.
Yeah.
You just hold him up. I don't know. I always think of these guys as thoroughbred racers and they just want to win.
Yeah, but you get the analytical thinkers. We saw it 2012. We saw Jorge Lorenzo when he was battling with Danny Pedrosa after Casey Stoner had broken his ankle.
Yep.
And Danny Pedrosa won so many races that year.
God, yeah.
But Jorge Lorenzo had such a lead that he knew in the final, I think it was the final 8 races,
Something
all he had to do was finish second.
Like a phenomenal amount of races where I would just chill.
Yeah, he's like, I just have to finish second. He's like, I'll let Pedrosa go. I'm not going to battle with him. I'm just going to finish second. And just finished second, took the title. Job done.
Awesome. Can't ask for more.
So, Moto3, Steve. Pedro Acosta and Dennis Foggia go into these final 2 rounds with 21 points separating them. I actually thought it was a little closer than this.
I thought it was a little closer than this. Yeah, I read your notes earlier. I was like, that's what 21? I was like, yeah, it is actually, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 21 points. So Acosta's got a nicer margin than Remy Gardner has got in Moto2, but I feel like Dennis Foggia, again, is on such a tear, and Acosta hasn't been on form for... Not the form that we saw in the first half of the season.
No, the form has dipped. And whether that's pressure or just experience.
He's a 17-year-old kid, man. Like, it's the pressure, and he's all of us fucking idiots sitting here being like, when he first came in, like, oh my God, he's the next Marc Marquez. He's going to dominate everything. He's going to crush everyone. I was like, oh, he's going to get to Moto2 and win everything. That's going to be building on him, and he's going to not be caring about you and I talk about this, but collectively... Every fucker is talking about this, man.
Yeah, he's not done. He's not done at all. Even if the entire team, everyone at home is going, just relax. It doesn't matter. You're 17. You've got your whole career ahead of you.
Doesn't matter. You only get one shot at a Moto3 title.
Exactly.
And we know that he's going to Moto2 next year. So this is his only shot at the Moto3 title.
He's going to know that. And he's going to want to go up champion.
Mm-hmm. And winning as a rookie is just an amazing feat.
How many people have done it?
I couldn't tell you in the...
Not many. That is a very small collective group of riders. And you're going to want that accolade. You want as many accolades as you could get.
Yeah, in fact, I think, oh my God, this is embarrassing. Who's the safety man now for MotoGP, ex-rider?
Loris Caparossi.
I think he was the last rookie champion in the lower classes. Or was he the youngest ever champion, maybe?
No, I don't think he's the youngest ever champion.
In what would have been 125s.
Yeah, he might have been actually. Oh, that's a while ago now. He was riding when I started watching. Oh, you're testing me. There's Googling going on. There's tapping. I don't know. I can't remember. But you want these accolades. It doesn't matter. You want every trophy. You want that cabinet full. I'd want that entire wall behind you covered in awards, trophies, anything I can get.
Oh, certainly. And it's just such a claim to fame, man.
Exactly.
Loris Caparossi is the youngest to win the 125 championship at 17 years and 165 days when he won the title. A year before I was born.
Oh.
That's quite incredible, isn't it?
I was 9.
I don't know how many of these. Let me just do a little search of this Wikipedia page and see if I can find out. Rookie champions. Now, I can't search the word rookie, so I'm going to stop doing that because otherwise it'll be a podcast of silence while I just Google things.
It will be a podcast of silence because I was quite intrigued then. I was like, Christ, he's going for it.
Yeah. Something to look at for the future.
All right, we'll try and find out. We'll post it online.
Yeah.
We'll make a note and we will find out. That is quite an interesting way. It's not many riders.
I'm sure it's not many at all.
You could probably count them on one hand. You must be able to. 5 at absolute most.
All the ones I can think of, the Moto3 guys that have done it. Well, it's been Moto3. I don't think any of them were rookies.
No.
Maverick Vinales nearly did it in his rookie year, but he walked out of the team before the end of the year.
That's it. Yeah, it was that strange walkout where it all went very wrong.
Yeah.
Very suddenly.
And I think he finished like 3rd that season or something
like that. Yeah.
But he was in the fight for the title. But was that Moto3? No, that was 125s then.
That was 125s. Yeah.
Did he win the first Moto3 title the following year? I think
he did. Yeah. Christ, now you tested my Moto3 knowledge. I never really started watching it until we started doing this. So
yeah. Okay.
That knowledge is very limited.
To be fair, I didn't start watching it until BT Sport was showing the whole lot. Because before, if you were watching it on BBC or ITV or whatever, they only showed the main race.
I was guilty of literally just turning it on because they had the individual scheduling on the telly, TV guide. So I literally just turn it on for the MotoGP. That's all I was interested in. didn't give the smaller classes the time of day.
Yeah, I just like it for the storylines because you just get to see who's coming up and you get to the excitement of now we know we're like, oh my God, Ralph Fernandez is going to be amazing.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm like now. Now we've got into this, we do this more regularly. Chat to you about it because before I never had really anyone who was interested in it. So now it's like the whole embodiment of the entire sport. It's just like I must see it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So the Moto3 then, Steve, if Acosta can outscore Foggia by just 5 points, he will win the title at Portimao. But like we say, Foggia's been on an absolute tear, so it doesn't seem too likely. But even if he doesn't outscore him, all Acosta has got to do in these next 2 rounds is score an average of 11 points per round.
He doesn't need a lot.
And that seals the title. What's 11 points? 4th?
4th or 5th.
4th or 5th?
Was it 18 or 16 for 3rd?
16 for 3rd.
16 for 3rd.
So it'll be 13 for 4th.
Yeah.
And then it's 10 for 5th.
10 for 5th. So he was...
No. 11 for 5th.
11 for 5th. So he could be 6. Just...
Yeah, so 5th or 6th. So we say if he finishes 5th in both races, happy days, that's the title.
Yeah. There's room for error, but not
much error, though.
No.
And a small error in Moto3 is a big, big error in the points.
Exactly. With this pack racing, it doesn't take a lot before you're 5-6 places down the order.
Yeah.
And if you're going to be running, let's say you're running around in 5th, chances are you're going to be in the pack.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not going to be on your own. And if, like you say, Acosta's out front, he's pretty much going to be almost guaranteed to be on his own.
Yeah.
So, catch 22, you got to go for it.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no other way about it.
And there is no other way about it because as soon as you roll off, there's 6 bikes past you. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're going to get John Maffei smiling at you as he goes past you.
Just waving.
See you, bruv.
Do you have a prediction on either championship, Steve?
Yeah. I think it's Acosta, Remy.
That's where I'm at as well.
Yeah, I really do think that is
I think maybe you could argue Ralph Fernandez has been the faster rider in Moto2 this year. He's just not been able to keep it rubber side down.
No.
Which is quite a shame for him. But, I also think he's going into MotoGP as the one everyone's watching. So even if Remy wins, everyone's watching Raul anyway.
Yeah, I think the gaps are just too great. Even, like you say, 11 points, 18 points,
18 points, yeah.
It's nothing. But in MotoGP terms, with 2 rounds left and how the form that both sets of riders have been on, it's just too great. It is too great. And then drop it into Moto3, 21 points. In Moto3, that's an era in time.
But it's amazing when you think that at Austria, when Pedro Acosta won his last race, Dennis Foggia was nearly 100 points behind him.
No, shows what's happened.
He's closed it in, and if he keeps on this winning streak, I don't know. I think Remy's going to do it in Moto2, and I think Acosta's going to do it in Moto3. But I think the upset's more likely in Moto3 than in Moto2. I think Foggia has more potential to do it than Ralph Fernandez does. But just in their current scenario, not full stop. I think Ralph Fernandez is fantastic. But I think as the scenarios are playing out, I think I would argue that maybe I'm giving Remy Gardner a 70 to 75% chance of winning. I'm giving Pedro Acosta a 60 to 70% chance.
Yeah.
Not enough for me to bet the house on, but, I'd bet a few hundred.
No, yeah, I'd have a small wager.
Yeah.
If there's, I'm in agreement with you. If there's going to be an upset, it will be in Moto3.
Yeah,
not Moto2.
It's always in Moto3 anyway.
It's always been.
But it's funny, isn't it, in Moto3 how we see this quite frequently, where someone goes off and takes a massive lead, and then towards the end of the season, it's broken right down. Remember Danny Kent did it? He won, and he had like a 70-point lead at one point, and then Miguel Oliveira came within a few points by the end of the season.
I think they just knacker themselves.
Yeah, and I think the pressure just gets them. They're so young in Moto3,
I'm pretty sure that is. At the start of the season, they're riding that high.
Yeah.
Like, look at me. And all of a sudden, someone will just sit them down and go, you can win this. And it's like, that little click.
Okay. Yeah.
All of a sudden, it's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, this wave of pressure and just stress replaces that natural high adrenaline rush of winning. And all of a sudden, it just becomes this flood of terror.
Yeah.
And then you start seeing the mistakes. Like you say, these are young guys.
Super young. I mean, we know he's fucking 17, man. Like he's a young guy.
Yeah, imagine having that entire pressure of like delivering. So suddenly you've been signed to win a championship, and suddenly it's there, and you're a 17-year-old kid with the weight of the world on your shoulders. Hey, that's a hell of a lot of pressure, man.
That is a lot of pressure.
Me as a 17-year-old, I'd have kicked my bike over, stopped my paper round, and gone nuts. just set fire to the newspapers and walked off.
I was just too busy looking at girls, I think, at 17 to be focused on
I don't know
anything
what I was
else.
doing at 17, mate. I was just drunk.
I was at college doing health and social care as the only male in the class.
Nice
so,
tactic. I like it.
Thank you.
Tactic.
So I had a lot of fun, obviously, but yeah, there's no way a 17-year-old Tim was in no way capable of the 30-year-old Tim is in no way capable of dealing with the pressure that these guys
I'd
are
be
under.
a mess.
Like-
40-year-old Steve would be quivering in the corner having a stroke. You want me to do what?
I'd just be locked in the toilet. Like, no, I'm not leaving this room.
That'd be like the scene in Jarhead where he just sat on the toilet drinking a bottle of like X-Lax. I can't come out. Glug glug. I've got the shits. I don't know where I picked it up from.
Okay, Steve. One last bit of news here. More debate over the ride height adjusters going on.
Yes.
It appears that the MSMA, the Motorsport Manufacturers Association, had a meeting at the first Mazzano round to determine the future of ride height adjusters. It seems to be, it's getting quite factionalised now. The big Japanese factories want to ban them, and the trio of European factories really want to keep them, which obviously means it's 3-on-3, so everyone's locking heads here.
Yeah,
and
proper loggerheads.
Yeah, and no consensus was reached. So as long as no consensus is reached, we'll keep the ride height adjuster. And I can't imagine, unless KTM decides now, fuck this, that Aprilia and Ducati aren't going to give up their ride height adjusters now.
No, never, because they're good at it.
Yeah, exactly, and they put a lot of effort into those.
The only ones that want to get rid of it are the ones that can't nail it.
Exactly, and Honda seem to be really leading the way on this, wanting to ban it. I love the irony of it being Honda, though. Honda, that when the Speccy ECU was announced, were like, nah, we've got an advantage here. We're not giving it up.
Yeah.
Honda that pioneered the seamless gearbox. Was that Honda?
Yeah, that was Honda.
So Honda have done all of this work in the past, but someone beat them to something here. And we saw it with Aero as well, to be fair.
Yes.
Ducati beat Honda to Aero, and they were like, now we can't do this. But Aero is here to stay with its limitations. But
it's just their way of saying, we can't do it, but we're not going to admit it. So we're going to try and sanction it to the point where we just get you banned.
Yeah, and we're going to call it cost saving.
Yeah.
So we just want to cost cut, and then it's a healthier sport.
Yeah, we'll just market it in such a way that makes us look good.
Exactly.
But also makes you lose your advantage.
And I always think cost saving is such a bullshit excuse. Like,
it is.
if you need cost cutting, put a fixed limit. Dorna put a fixed limit on how much those teams can spend. It's being implemented in Formula 1 now.
Yeah.
And they're saying you can only spend up to a certain point, and we're talking hundreds of millions in Formula 1. It's more money than in MotoGP. And just say, like, this is the amount of money you can spend, but do what you like with it. And just let them see which direction they develop down.
Christ, can you imagine if you said to Ducati, you got this, go.
And it would be amazing just to see.
Wind tunnel time.
Yeah, but it would be incredible. You'd see some manufacturers really focusing on aero. You'd see some manufacturers really focusing on their engine. You'd see some manufacturers focusing on the ride height adjusters and suspension. It would be incredible to see what would play out and the battles that would be going on. And it would be kind of the thing we'd see is at some tracks, some manufacturers would work very well, others very badly. At other tracks, vice versa. It would be a very interesting dynamic, I think. But cost cutting is a bullshit reason to stop doing something you're bad at. Like, that's pretty much it. Like, if you want cost cutting, lobby for a maximum amount you can spend.
I think if you really want to save some money, you should cost cut on the coffee. Every Italian just went, what?
Yeah, exactly. And the Italian manufacturers in the grid are like, no, Steve, we will give up our ride height adjusters before we give up our coffee machines.
Yes, you could just imagine the carnage I've just caused. Monday morning, GG's going to turn this on and go, I fucking hate that man.
Your impression of GG sounded a little bit like he was taking place in Cool Runnings then, actually, Steve.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's offshot. From over here, it sounded good.
I'm like, there's a Jamaican bobsled team in here somewhere?
Can you imagine if...
Where's this going?
I don't know. But in my head, it was going somewhere really good.
Okay,
Steve. And then the strokes just set in. I've forgotten.
Okay, well, let's take a quick break, give you a moment to recover, and when we come back, we're going to pick up where we left off last week. We've got recaps. We've got to recap our predictions, and we need to run through the championship. Plus, we had some mail last week that we didn't read, so we will get to that too. So bear with us one moment, guys, and we will be right back with you. And we are back. Thank you very much for bearing with us. Steve has a fresh beer.
Hang on. Yes. Did you get it?
There we go. We got that one, Steve. That was nice. You got that much better than me with my stubby fingers. You managed to get onto that one straight away there.
It's because we spoke about it.
You were ready for it.
I was ready. I was finger under the ring pull.
Oh, nice.
I did think it was going to go off early, but that's a different story.
But that was just to the vibrations of the lovely ball trimmer earlier that did that, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yes, side effect. No. Not go down that road.
Oh, dear. Rightio, Steve. We're back to pick up where we left off last week. Obviously, I had to get trained last week, and we were running very, very late. So
there was so much news.
Yeah, it was a lot to talk about, and it was a long show last week, guys. So thanks if you got all the way to the end, I suppose.
Rewards. I suppose I made it to the end.
Yeah. Although, Steve, this may well be the last week I have to get a train back.
Really?
Yeah. We got the keys for the house, so
Nice.
we, in theory, are moving in this weekend, which means I will be 3 minutes round the corner.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. So, in theory, I mean, depending on how long the move takes, I might stay in Norwich for an extra week just because I can't bother to sleep in a house full of boxes.
No, that is a chore. No, well, draw around.
Yeah, there we go. See, there'll be none of this rushing off for the train malarkey.
No, just straight here in the morning. I'll have to start booking some Wednesdays off. And where's Steve on a regular Wednesday? Pissed.
Yeah. Well, it's like the shop up the road, Steve. I'm pretty sure the woman in the shop now knows I'm only here on Tuesdays. Every time I walk in, she's like, "Oh, is it Tuesday again?" I'm like, yeah, it's Tuesday again. In there for the few cans of beer, she knows.
Bless you. Oh, well. Regular as clockwork.
Exactly. So we're going to pick up where we left off, and that was recapping our predictions for last week, Steve. I predicted a Bagnaia win, a Quartararo second, and a Miller third. You predicted a Bagnaia win, a Bastianini second, and a Quartararo third. None of us got the podium right.
No.
By none, I mean neither of us got the podium right. Bagnaia and Miller crashed out, and Quartararo... No, you got Bastianini on the podium. So you did get one, because Quartararo lost third place in the final few corners to Bastianini.
Yes.
But it was a pretty poor showing from both of us there.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
And the Fantasy League as well, Steve, we will get into... we'll get into that at the end of the show. At the very end, we will cover the Fantasy League. Let's just run through the top 10 in the championship. Bearing in mind, there's 50 points left up for grabs. So the title is won, but none of the other places are really solidified yet.
Not really. It could still shuffle a little bit.
I mean, in theory, Miguel Oliveira in 10th, if he takes 2 wins on the bounce, which I feel is very unlikely, but he's currently on 92 points, he would get himself up to, what would that be, 142 points, which would, assuming no one in front of him scored many points or any points, that would pop him up to 6th, joint 6th with Marc Marquez. Marquez would take 6th off comeback there.
Well, we know he's not going to score any this weekend, so...
Marquez is not going to score any this weekend, and Miguel Oliveira could quite handily score a full 25 this weekend.
Scary. But again, getting back, quick one back to Marquez. In 6, 142 points.
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah. Missed, 2 races at the start of the season?
Yep.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Absolutely nuts. The scalps he has underneath him are incredible.
Yes.
Even that alone should make people worried.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it certainly is 3 wins. He's doing all right since he came back.
Yes.
But the rest of the top 10 look like this. Maverick Vinales is there in 9th with 106 points. Aleix Espargaro is just ahead of him on 113. Obviously, it's not really an apples-to-apples comparison because Maverick scored most of his points this year on the Yamaha.
That's a bit hit and miss.
And then moved over to the KTM.
Yes.
Oh my God, I'm really sorry. My phone just made the microphone make terrible noises, but it's onto airplane mode now, so we will continue. Brad Binder there in 7th on 136 points. Obviously, he's taken 1 win this year. Marc Marquez then in 6th, as discussed, 142 points, having taken 3 wins. Jack Miller is in 5th, 2 wins on 149 points, and Johan Zarco is still in 4th there with 152 points.
Somehow just hanging in the top 5.
Yeah, he is just hanging in the top 5.
It feels like a long time since we've really ever spoken about him with some kind of enthusiasm.
Well, he had an amazing start to the year, didn't he? An amazing start to the year, and then it sort of just dropped off. But he's clearly been consistent enough to just be chipping away, scoring points, and just holding there. And he realistically, he could drop behind Miller and Marquez by the end of the year, and finish 6th maybe. I can't see him finishing any lower than 6th.
No, it doesn't feel like he's going to drop much lower, but he's just there.
Yeah, and the second Ducati still at the moment.
know.
It's only 3 points between him and Miller. To be fair, I think Miller will probably overhaul him. But
I think so.
it's still the top non-factory Ducati, even if Miller does get ahead of him. And at the moment, second Ducati overall, which is a nice scalp for him.
Yeah, nice accolade.
Johan Mir there in third on 175 points. It's a bit strange because it kind of feels like he's had a shocking title defence year. It
does. Yeah, that's why I was then sort of just making the motions of my hands.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Why? How is he there?
Yeah, how has he done this? Because it feels strange because I would have probably guessed that he'd be, I don't know, around the Marquez Binder area there.
Like, fifth down to about eighth.
Yeah, that's where...
Somewhere in there. But this is like typical Mir.
Well, I mean, this is how he won the championship,
exactly.
wasn't it? Yeah.
There was exactly the words I was then about to say. That is his style. Consistent.
Just scoring points.
Yeah. He I don't know. Just bloody annoying more than anything. Because he is the person you just wouldn't count on, but he will get you to the goal.
Yeah, he will. And I mean, like we say, he did it last year. He's done it again this year. Easily top Suzuki. His teammate Alex Rins is down there in 11th on 91 points.
Exactly.
Nearly half the amount of points of Mir. And that's because Alex Rins doesn't stay on the fucking bike all year.
He just... Yeah, likes building sandcastles.
Yeah,
playing with the gravel. But yeah, it's just testament to how consistent this guy is.
Yes. Where did Nicky Hayden finish in his title defence year?
Oh, not well, did he?
I don't think it was well, no.
No, well at all. My God, now you're asking me. I saw a post the other day. It was, 15 years ago this year that Nicky won his title.
Jeez, yeah, it was, wasn't it?
That's nuts.
That's quite incredible, isn't it? So 2007 would have been his title defence year.
My God, now you're asking. I want to say he did not finish well and was seventh in the
eighth in the championship on 127 points.
That's the one.
And when you look at the guys ahead of him, Loris Capirossi finished on 166, Chris Mullen was on 179, Marco Melandri on 187, John Hopkins on 189. Rossi is then on 241, so quite a big jump. Pedrosa finished on 242, and then the massive jump to Casey Stoner on 367.
Jesus, that was a big jump.
So it was quite the difference. But yeah, so this title defence year from Mir has been much better than that of Nicky Hayden's, but it still doesn't feel like it's been spectacular.
No, it's not been... If he had a few wins... And I've been in some proper scraps, but he's not.
No, and the Suzuki's just not up to it this year, is it?
No, he's not done anything realistically to set the world on fire.
No. And I mean, he only won one race in his title year, which is amazing, isn't it? It's amazing to think Johan Mir has only won one race.
Look at the conversations we had where we're talking about is he going to be the first person to win the title without actually winning a race? And I think I even said, and we both said,
I sort of wish he had.
Yeah, we did. I remember the conversation now. He was like, fuck, he's won it, he's done it. I wish he hadn't.
Yeah.
Not win the title, win the Christ, come on. Won the race.
Yes, exactly. It would have been, maybe more special.
I think it would have been spectacular.
Yeah.
You imagine being that person, like, I did this just for being the most intelligent, consistent person out there.
Yeah, quite.
You could argue any idiot can go fast. Not any idiot can finish a race.
Yeah, exactly. And I guess we've seen it this year. The Suzuki is certainly underpowered compared to the other machines, and underpowered a bit in a straight line, but just across the board, it's just not as good as the Yamahas or the Ducatis.
Look at what they...
Well, I don't think they even had the best bike in 2020. He just won them the title.
Rode the socks off it.
Yeah,
and everyone else was just more inconsistent than what they have been this year. But then add in the improvements, like now the Ducati turns.
Quite.
And you've got a Bagnaia on it who's now got a year's experience.
Yeah, well, two
years experience. Sorry,
this is his third year now, so nearly 3 years by the end of this year.
Add all this into the mix, and it just becomes this honeypot of like multi-time champions, or multi-champions, with massive experience and just being outweighed by better bikes or improved machinery.
Yes, certainly.
So it's all good and well to finish, but if everyone's going to get improving, you got to keep picking up with it.
Yeah, and it's a shame for him as well, isn't it? Because we're kind of already, and we have certainly done this, sort of written him off for next year. Because we're saying it's going to be a Bagnaia, Quartararo, Marquez fight. And I mean, if Suzuki can pick up, and obviously we're hearing good things about their 2022 machine, he will be in that fight. But I can't see him. I could see him having a year like this one again. but I can't see him having a dominant year. And I think you're going
I don't think he'll ever really have a full board dominant year. Not like we've seen in the past from some people.
Like we were talking about, he's not going to have one of those once in a career seasons.
No,
I mean, well, actually, he did. He had it in Moto3 because he crushed that Moto3 year. I think he won like 11 races that year and was absolutely dominant.
But in MotoGP, it just doesn't feel like he's got it in him. He's not going to be that person that is going to come out and just absolutely kill the rest of the field.
It would be interesting to see him on another machine because I think he probably has got it in him. It's just that maybe Suzuki is holding him back.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see next year whether the talk of the improved Suzuki, what he could do with it, and Rins for that matter. We know Rins is capable.
Yes, certainly.
So it shows, just like you say, Alex Rins in 11th on 91 place, and then Johan Mir in 3rd on 175.
It's a huge gap in
golf. And it just shows how contrasting their seasons are and how contrasting the fortunes are from last year.
Yeah.
So,
and I mean, well, even last year, Rins probably could have won the title if he wasn't so crash happy.
Yeah, he just needs to get on top of that. And I'm sure it's like overriding, like we said.
But how long do you give him?
Exactly.
How long's he been in MotoGP now? 4 years?
4 years. His contract with Suzuki ends at the end of next year. So it's going to be make or break.
Yeah.
But I think he'll just get more crashy next year.
Yeah, and I think the pressure of of a contract hanging over him is going to do that. But we'll see. Anyway, second is Pecco Bagnaia at the moment with 202 points. And the impossible to beat now Fabio Quartararo, our 2021 world champion, is on 267 points. Just a great year for Quartararo. We're not going to dive into that now. No. I'm sure we are going to, at the end of the year again, we'll end up...
show at the end of the year.
Yeah, exactly. Let's dive in then, Steve, to our preview of the... Bless you.
Thank you. Sorry, I tried to get as far away from the mic as possible.
I could have been nice and paused it and let you get that over and done with, but I thought I'd keep trying to talk. Yeah. So, let's dive into our preview of the Gran Premio Brembo do Algarve.
They like giving these tracks some funky names, don't they?
Well, I mean, this is a pretty easy one, to be fair.
It's compared to some.
It's the Brembo Grand Prix of the Algarve, would be the translation there. So that's nice and easy. I am fully aware my Italian is not as good as Steve's Jamaican Italian that we had going on earlier.
Have a go?
Oh, God, yeah, please do.
Oh, let's have a go. Here we go. Where are you? The Gran Primo di Brembo di Algarve.
I actually, Steve, now I am clearly not Italian, and maybe our Italian listeners could let us know.
They're all just like unsubscribe.
I thought that was okay, mate. I'm thinking there was a bit of Gino D'Acampo in there. There was the hand flick as well.
You like the hand? You got to give it the hand.
Yeah, I got to get the Mediterranean hands out here. Yeah, it was good, mate. No, I liked that a lot. Actually, that was better than I expected, and much less Jamaican than I expected.
Yeah.
So you'll blend in as a local, mate.
All right, like it. Just this pale skin won't.
That's fine. Just spend a few days in the sun before you go. You'll be all right. We'll get you on a tanning bed or something.
Get a spray tan. Girl next door does spray tans.
Does she?
Yeah.
What, like for herself or for like other people?
Other people.
Oh, okay. And she come into your home and do it?
I have no idea. I just know she does spray tans.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Sarah's spoken to her about it.
All right, fair enough. I was sort of imagining your kitchen looking a bit like Dexter's, not Dexter's Laboratory, Dexter the serial killer TV show Dexter, where he like does his murder room and he just puts like the plastic sheeting up everywhere. It's a tough one, mate, because it's very, very good, but much like Lost, it gets a bit lost somewhere in the middle, and then it starts to build at the end again, and then it just ends so badly.
I just Lost, and I was so disappointed.
Yeah.
I just wanted to murder the plot director.
Yeah. That's a bit how I feel about Game of Thrones, though, to be fair.
Oh, fucking Game of Thrones was the biggest disappointment, except
since Lost,
my first
actually.
Experience.
But that's because you weren't well groomed, Steve.
I was not well groomed. I am now. Turn back time. Manscaped lived in... I don't know what year it would have been.
Let's not rewind that far. We'll do Steve's virginity stories another day, shall we? Okay. But for now, let's dive into the preview for Portimao. So we've done one of these previews before, Steve, for Portimao, so we'll go through it pretty quick again here. Yes. The circuit is 2.85 miles, that's 4.6 kilometres. It features 15 corners, 6 of them are left-handers, and 9 of them are right-handers, and it's an 18-metre wide track, so it's a wide one.
That is a biggie. I didn't realise it was that wide. I've forgotten about that.
It's because it's that thing, isn't it? It feels like an old classic race circuit, but it actually only opened in 2008, so it feels like it's the classic circuits, but actually it's built to very good specs.
Yeah, Yeah, you're right. I always forget it's not that old. It feels, although we've only been going here the third time.
This will be the third time,
Yeah,
won't it?
it feels like we've been going here quite a bit longer.
Yeah, and I mean we're going there again next year, so it's spooky. I'm happy to see it's become a staple of the.
I
calendar.
really want to go. It's now. I've added it to my bucket list. I want to see this one.
Yeah,
I
it's
want to experience.
cool
I think
looking
it's the Portuguese have shown themselves some real passionate fans.
Yeah,
And
certainly.
we look at what they've done for Oliveira.
Certainly.
I really want to go because I think the atmosphere around there will be incredible.
Yeah,
So,
and we've got some great Portuguese listeners that get in
We
touch
have,
very
yeah.
often.
those guys are great.
Yeah, so a very good, passionate fan base. So the longest straight on the circuit as well, Steve, 669 metres. So
And not a longie.
a long straight, this one. So yeah, happy about that. We'll see the Ducati Power blasting along there again. And it first appeared on the calendar, obviously, in 2020. Most wins go to Miguel Oliveira and Fabio Quartararo.
That's a short list.
One apiece, nice and easy. And the outright lap record is a 138.862 by Fabio Quartararo. The race lap record belongs to Alex Rins, and that's a 139.450.
Not far away. Not a great deal of difference in that.
Really not, actually, is there?
No, we've had this conversation before where some tracks is like a huge gap.
Yeah, and that's less than
Huge
a
difference.
second.
Yeah, this one's quite close.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I hadn't really noticed that as I was writing the notes earlier, but you're right. That's a very short. That's not one of the 2-second gaps we've seen in the past.
No, not at
I
all.
wonder what it is about this circuit that allows for that.
No, it's probably because it levels the playing field. You know, the elevation changes. It's a technical track, a very technical
Oh,
track.
certainly.
So, and I think with that, it kind of negates some bikes' advantages that you would naturally think.
Well,
would have
every manufacturer has got an advantage somewhere on that track.
there. Exactly. So it just levels the playing field, which
Yeah.
I really like. I like that.
I know one of the tyre allocation will make a big difference, and we will get
Yes.
onto tyres
Yes.
because there's a change as well coming up.
All right.
The race distances: MotoGP is 25 laps, 71 miles or 114k. Moto2 is 23 laps. Jeez, learn to read numbers, Tim. It's 23 laps, 65 miles or 106k, and Moto3 will be doing 21 laps, 59.9 miles, at 96 point something k.
All right.
The weather all weekend, Steve, looks fine. Sunny all weekend, very low chance of rain, air temperature floating between 50 and 20 degrees for most of the weekend. So nice, what I would consider quite pleasant weather, maybe jeans and a t-shirt weather. And as long as it's sunny, it'll be okay. But if there's cloud cover that comes over, that track's going to get pretty
That
cold.
is going to cool. Yeah, we said before about I was a bit worried about the weather, but that temperature it'll be okay. It's still a little bit cold for MotoGP tyres, but like you say, if it does cloud over, then we're going to see some.
It's going to get chilly.
Yeah.
It'll be a bit like Phillip Island we see when that gets cold there. That gets cold. And again, it's on the coast, isn't it? So like if there's a breeze coming in, that can really
sea
cool
breeze,
everything
bit
down.
of damp air, bit of condensation.
Yes,
So
exactly.
it's going to be interesting. I really hope it's nice, bright, sunny, and we just get some good racing.
Yeah.
I really don't want to see a hampered weekend, but I can't see anything else coming but a hampered weekend with the weather.
Yeah, we'll just wait and see, eh? We'll see how it turns out.
Oh,
So,
we haven't got long to wait.
oh no, we haven't. Just a few days now.
Aye.
Predictions then, Steve. I'm
God.
predicting an Oliveira win. I think he's going to come back with a bang here, and I think Quartararo will finish second, followed by Bagnaia in third. Give us your guesses here, Steve.
I think you got the podium, but I think in a different order.
Ooh, okay.
I think Bagnaia is going to go on a last 2 race tear,
Okay.
just to annoy himself.
He's like, fuck, I could have done it.
Yeah, basically. Then I think we're going to have Quartararo and Oliveira.
Yeah. I hate spelling Quartararo's name, Steve. It's one of the names I have the hardest time with when I'm typing it out. And it doesn't help that my computer doesn't recognise any of the MotoGP rider names, so it just puts a red squiggly line under them every single time.
Yes, yeah, mine does exactly the same. And then it gives you that counter on the left where you've got a word wrong.
Or I don't have Grammarly set up or to work with pages on my Mac, so I only have it when I'm working in like Google Docs and doing stuff for work.
Yeah, I do, because I try and improve my writing on my phone, because I predominantly do stuff on my phone.
Yeah.
So I keep it on there, much to Sarah's annoyance. She will pick up my phone every now and go, what the fuck, I want to write this word.
I guess it's not going to let you do that.
No, but it will change it to something completely different, because it does that analytic thing where it's like just recognises the nearest thing.
Autocorrects and
So
moves
it's
it
like-
along, yeah.
Yeah, today would you like to go to the kettle?
Yeah, okay, fine. I'll have a cup of tea.
Yeah, we'll go
That's
with
fine.
that. We'll go with that. Send.
And that's pretty much the preview there, Steve. There's not really that much to talk about. We've got, we've kind of done one of these previews already for this track, so we won't dive in too much more for that.
No.
But we did have a comment on Facebook, Steve. We were going to get to it last week, and we didn't really get round to it yet.
No, we wanted to make sure we talked about it properly.
Yeah, exactly.
So, like you said previously, you had to catch a train. So
yeah, exactly. So this comment came from Ryu, and it was on Facebook, and it's in relation to something we discussed a few episodes ago. Steve, we were talking about the Australian FIM mini-series appearing and becoming a Dorna affiliated series to bring to the FIM mini championships. Anyway, I'm not doing it justice, so I'm just going to read out what Ryu sent to us here. It starts like this. Just some information on what was discussed in the latest episode regarding Austria joining the FIM Mini GP World Series for 2022. And like Austria. I say, did I say Austrian?
Yeah, added another country.
Oh, I'm losing myself here. Australia joining the FIM Mini GP World Series for 2022. And like I say, that's what we actually discussed a couple of weeks before. And he continues. The series has been completed for 2021 with winners from France, Italy, Malaysia, Netherlands, North America, Spain, Ireland and the UK all going to the World Final in Valencia, which will be concluded during the week building up to the final MotoGP round. We have a list of races that will be competing here. We've got Harley McCabe, I would guess.
Yeah, Harley McCabe Racing.
Yep. Moto Blake. There's Joshua Williams. And these guys are the top three riders from those who raced in a 25 rider Rich Energy. Wow, Rich Energy are back. That's a fucking treat. Rich Energy British Minibike Championships, which was held over 4 rounds in the UK. All the riders raced on OH Vale GP0 160cc machinery. And OH Vale are the official and sole motorcycle provider for the FIM Mini GP World Series project. The UK riders are all aged between 10 and 14 years old and have progressed from the OH Vale UK 110cc Cup from last year, which was overseen by Peter Hickman, who it turns out, obviously we know Peter Hickman from... I know Hickman from BSB, and he did stuff on the Isle of Man as well, right?
Yeah, he's done a few TT races.
Yeah.
He's been around quite a long time, I believe.
Yeah.
Quite an experienced guy, so a good person to have sort of at the helm leading these youngsters through.
Yes, certainly. And he is the UK OH Vale dealer, which is why he oversaw all of this going on. Ryu goes on to say here that if there's any questions anyone has about the mini bike championships, then please get in touch and he will try his best to answer. I think the best way to do that is probably drop something in the Facebook group, and if he Ryu comments there and can spill the beans and help us on what's going on there, he will do so. If not, we'll read out on the show, and I hope someone can come and let us know what's going on.
Yeah, if anyone drops a comment in, we can always try and tag him in.
Yeah, it might be fun, Steve, during the off-season to do a proper show and just cover what these series are, because this seems like an interesting one.
To look into it. I've done a bit of looking since Rio got in touch, looked up his connection, realised that he has quite an in-depth connection. I believe it's his son races. Found a load of other riders, and it's just it'd been interesting to watch the progression of some of these young guys go through, certainly. How they do their careers, not just if they make it to MotoGP, just see how they cope at such a young age.
Yeah.
You know, it's a very, in my head at the minute, let's say these guys are 10 years old, it's going to not just be about that 10-year-old, it's a family committed thing.
Certainly.
So it'd be nice to speak to the rider and B, the family.
Yeah.
Just to see how they work their lives.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll dive in, I think, in the off-season. We'll have a full show on this and we'll kind of dive into it a bit deeper because it'll be fun. It'll be fun to just go back. I assume we can... is it recorded somewhere? Is it filmed?
I think it's on YouTube.
Okay, so we could go back and watch some of these races as well, which would be fun to do. So it's only 4 rounds, so I imagine it'll be a few races per round. So we'll be able to kind of get our teeth into it. Maybe that's an off-season project, Steve. We'll just get drunk one day and just watch a load of racing.
Yeah, what I would like to do as well is I'm going to look up and just see if the final races are televised. Because they say they're at Valencia.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Valencia week, so we'll try and find out and let everyone know if they're interested in where they can watch it.
Yep, that's a good show.
Obviously, that might be a bit hard because everyone's scattered around the world, but we'll try and find somewhere where everyone can...
I wonder if it's on Video Pass.
That's what I want to try and find out. I'm going to try and drop something in. I'm pretty sure it is, because Video Pass covers just about everything.
Yeah.
So I'll try and find out and let everyone know, because I'm definitely going to try and tune in.
Yes, certainly.
If I can. Try and find out what day.
Yes.
And we'll go from there.
Exactly. So, guys, if you've got anything you want to say to us, any questions for us at all, you can find us on...
We are, for the love of MotoGP, we are on Instagram and Twitter, although I keep neglecting it.
Yeah, they are the neglected social media channels of choice.
Yes, we are there. We're just sort of loitering in the background. But where we spend most of our time is across in the Facebook community.
Yes.
Which is growing nicely. Everyone's still chatting away. We can't really ask for more. You guys are great over there.
Yeah,
discussing your own stuff, just taking it off, just having a great time. So if you want to get involved, come across there, join us, answer the questions, and we'll add you in. Or drop us an email. We are for the love of MotoGP@gmail.com.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And please do get in touch if you have any questions or anything you want to say at all.
Any corrections?
Yeah, there's going to be corrections. There's always corrections.
There's always something. Just be nice.
Yeah, exactly. Before we end, Steve, let's run through the Fantasy League quickly.
Yes. We haven't looked at that for a couple of rounds.
So we'll just do our usual here, running through the top 10. And don't forget, guys, there's still them prizes up for grabs going on here. But the top 3 are just starting to pull away now. Well, that's not true. Number 1 has been pulling away all season, but number 2 and 3 now.
Infuriating, especially when you're down in 40-something.
Are you still down in 40-something, Steve?
48th.
Oh, 48th. That's
annoyingly, this week, I went up in all other leagues that I'm in. Not that I joined any, just for some reason.
You get put in the Global League and the UK League straight away.
So in those two, I went up a bumper load of places, and I won nothing. I was just sat there. I was like, yes. First one up was like the World League. Yes, I've gone up. Green little arrow.
Yeah.
UK one. Yes, I've gone up. I won. Sweet FA.
Yeah.
I was like, that's just typical.
I even managed to go up in our one, Steve, which is impressive because I had a horrendous weekend. I had Caprara, Bagnaia, Marquez, and Miller in my team, but Marquez was a silver rider, so I didn't get all of the win points for him, annoyingly. But I guess actually looking at the points now, it was reasonable. It was a reasonable haul. It's just annoying because I lost 2 riders early on, but it doesn't matter. Other people, we're all in the same boat here. I think a lot of people probably had the Ducatis down.
I'm pretty sure they did.
So the top 10 looks like this, Steve. Free Iannone from the USA is in 10th. In 9th is Breckenridge 20, also from the US of A. 8th is Team Crash from Great Britain, and His and Herpes is in 7th from the US. Then there's me, Tim's Titans, in 6th place. Patronus STD from Great Britain is in 5th. Team Top Step from the USA is the bottom of the quad. 4 of them. There's 4 of you from the US in the top 4 spots there. I was trying to think of a big word and I couldn't do it on the fly, and now I'm a bit embarrassed. So Team Top Step there in 4th place. And here we get to the podium positions and the prizes. 9 Toes Racing in 3rd from the US with 1,648 points. Here Comes Thee is in 2nd from the US with 1,662.5 points. And then a dominating lead still is Kragers from the USA with 1,728.5 points. There is 1 boost left currently in the top 10. That belongs to His and Herpes, so you should be getting to using that pretty soon. And just outside the top 10 here, in 11th, Little or No Clue still has 2 of their boosts. So, there's a argument that could be made that Little or No Clue here and His and Herpes could make strides in the next 2 races.
I was just looking down for the order. There are a couple still a boost less, especially when you get further down the order.
Yeah.
There's several with 2 left. Will they use them? There's 1 with 3 left.
Whoa, 3 boosts? There's 2 with 3 left. 3? There's quite a few of you down there at the bottom with 3 boosts left.
Take some interest, people. You could jump a few places. There's a lot, actually, when you start getting the bottom. Jesus. Yeah. Come on, people.
That's it. So get involved for the last 2 races, guys, and let's finish this season off on a high, eh?
Aye.
Right, Steve, I think, my friend, that brings us to the end of the show.
I think we are pretty much there, buddy.
Cool. So, guys, thank you all very much for listening. And remember, if you want to support the show and if you want to have silky smooth balls smoother than Bradley Smith's head, his actual head, not that head, then please...
I'm glad you cleared that up. That was a risky move.
Then visit Manscaped, guys, and use the code MotoGP for 20% off any of their products. You will be helping us out no end in doing so. And
we very much appreciate it.
Exactly. So, guys, that's the end of the show. Thank you all very, very much for listening. We will speak to you next week with more tales of how our pubic hair is so trim. But we'll speak to you then. Goodbye.
Take care, guys.
Music is by Andrew Greenwood. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.